I met Ron on a blind date. He was very different from most of the men I was used to. He had sort of kind of like an edge to him. There was something attractive about the bad boy, but not quite the bad boy. He was spontaneous. He just liked life, and I said, oh, this was kind of nice. Even though my friends, when they first met him, were cautious, I think, but friends are supposed to be cautious about you, that eventually they got to like him. So he was very easy to get along with. It was around Father's Day, and we'd gotten up. We were planning to spend the day together. Actually, we were going to go out and visit his dad, and he said he was going to go buy the Sunday morning paper. So we left the house, and about half an hour after he left the house, the phone rang. And I answered the phone. There was a woman on the phone, and she said, "Can I speak to Ron?" And I said, "I'm sorry, he's not home, but this is his wife. Can I take a message?" And I remember she went something like, "Oh my God, I have to talk to you." And then she started to talk. And that's when I found out that this is a woman that he actually had a relationship even before we got married. As a matter of fact, this is kind of like a soap opera, but on our first blind date, she was in the hospital giving birth to their son. You can tell when another woman's not lying to you, because she just knew too many intimate details. She could describe my car. She knew when my husband had he ruptured his Achilles tendon. So she knew a lot of things. So I just knew that she wasn't lying. He got upset. First of all, I think that this woman called. He was yelling at me. He couldn't believe that I would believe her over him. We argued for hours, back and forth. And finally, it was about 8:30, and I figured, this is enough. I began to get a sense that if I pushed it any further, that something bad was going to happen. I just got a sense that he was going to hit me. About 10 o'clock that same night, the phone rang. And it was this woman calling again. And her words to me were, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Did you tell Ron what I said?" And I said, "Yeah." And she kept saying, "Are you okay?" But I was trying to talk to her so that he kind of wouldn't know it was her on the phone, because I didn't want the argument to start again. So after a few minutes, I hung up the phone. And after I hung up the phone, Ron turned toward me, and he had this weird look in his eye, and he said, "Oh, so now the two of you are plotting against me. She calls you up on the phone, you believe everything she says, so now it's you two against me." And I'm kind of wondering, what's he talking about? And he says, "So I'll tell you what, I'm going to punch you in your face, and I'm going to break your jaw." And he said, "Then I want you to call her on the phone and tell her all about it." And I just very nonchalantly said to him, "If you put your hands on me, it won't be her I'll be calling, it'll be the police." And I meant it, but that's just what I said. And he sort of chuckled, and he kind of turned away from me, and he turned toward the nightstand that was on the left side of the bed. And when he turned back to me, he had a knife in his hand.